You just dropped $50,000 on your dream kitchen upgrade, and 6 months later, I've seen this happen more times than I can count. And today, I'm gonna save you from making that same expensive mistake. Welcome back. I'm Blake, built by Becker. And today, we're gonna be dropping some remodeling knowledge. And here's what nobody tells you. Some of the most popular kitchen upgrades, the ones that look amazing on Instagram, Pinterest, and even here on YouTube, turn into absolute nightmares in real life. And I'm talking from experience here. I've watched homeowners spend tens of thousands of dollars on upgrades they thought they'd love forever, only to regret them within months. So by the end of this video, you're gonna know the 5 kitchen upgrades that people regret the most in 2025, why they regret them, and more importantly, what you should do instead so you don't waste your money on something you're gonna hate. If you're planning a kitchen renovation or even just thinking of upgrades, hit that subscribe button right now because I'm about to save you some serious bucks and a whole lot of headaches. Stick around until the end. I got my design starter kit and it's on sale right now for the new year. And it includes all my professional kitchen planning templates, checklist, and 24/7 access to me and my AI design specialist. Links in the description. All right, now let's get to these regrets. This one started a fury this year. Pot filler faucets is number 1. These things are everywhere. You see them in luxury kitchens. That fancy faucet mounted on the wall above your stove so you can fill your pasta pot without carrying it from the sink. And I'm gonna be honest with you, they're almost completely useless for people. Here's why. First, pot fillers cost anywhere from $500 to $2,000 just for the faucet. Then you have to add plumbing, which means you have running water through your wall to your stove. So that's another few $100s minimum. So you're already looking at $1,500 to $3,000 for this upgrade. And for what? So you don't have to carry a pot of water 10 feet from your sink to your stove? You still got to carry it back unless you got a drain in your stove, which I don't. So you spend $2,000 to $3,000 to save yourself one trip. I mean, it's up to you. If you're still carrying a full pot of boiling water and the pasta back to the sink, that's the heavy one. That's the dangerous one. And don't get me even started on the extra failure points. Every connection in your plumbing is a potential leak, and every valve is something that can break. I have seen pot fillers that leaked inside of walls and caused thousands of dollars in water damage. Not to mention, if you forget to turn it off, you can basically ruin your entire stove with a water leak. Now look, if you're a serious home chef who's filling giant stock pots every other day, maybe a pot filler makes sense for you. But for 95% of the people, it's a $1,500 solution minimal to a problem you really don't have. Instead, my suggestion is take the $1,500 and invest in a really nice main kitchen faucet. Get one with a pull down sprayer, good water pressure, a finish that will last, something that you'll use, that you'll love, because it's one of the most used pieces in the entire kitchen. And that's money well spent. Upgrade number 2, glass front upper cabinets everywhere. Now, I know you've seen them on Instagram, designer blogs, and heck, I've even installed them in about 50 kitchens in the last couple of years. And I'm not talking about one glass cabinet to display your nice dishes or grandma's fine china. I'm talking about people who are doing all their upper cabinets with glass fronts or half their kitchen with glass fronts. And look, I get the appeal. It makes your kitchen feel more open. It's got that European cafe vibe. It looks beautiful in photos. But here's the reality of living with all glass front cabinets. Everything inside has to look perfect all the time. You can't just throw your stuff, mix-matched mugs, plates, Tupperwares stacked up inside. You have to have everything clean, detailed, and organized because everyone can see it. Your cabinets are on display 24/7, which means you're on display 24/7. So here's what to do instead. Get 1 or 2 glass front cabinets, display the pretty stuff in those cabinets, your nice glassware, fancy dishes, whatever makes you feel happy. But keep the rest of your cabinets solid. Give yourself permission to be human and just shove things in without thinking about it and without worrying about how it looks. All right, guys, number 3. And I got chewed up in the comments before on this, but the Waterfall Edge Island. And this one is trending hard, and it has been because it does look luxurious. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's when your countertop doesn't just stop at the edge of your island or your peninsula. It continues down the side in one beautiful piece, creating the waterfall effect. And yeah, it looks cool. It looks modern, and it's high end. I'm not gonna lie about that. But here's what people don't realize until they've already spent the money. Waterfall edges are expensive, impractical, and they're going to date your kitchen faster than than you think. First, the cost. You're basically using twice as much stone because you'll need an extra slab to go down the side. So if your countertop would have cost you $8,000, now you might be looking at 12 or even 15 because you need more and you're gonna need an extra slab plus the fabrication. That's a huge price jump for essentially a decorative look or edge. And they're not really practical. The edge is where the horizontal top meets the vertical side. That's the seam. And the seam is right where people sit and where kids lean and where you're constantly bumping into. Those corners chip. Those seams show wear. And good luck trying to repair the chip on a waterfall edge. They're super visible and really hard to blend in. I've been noticing this on a lot of jobs that we have done, that they do get damaged and they are easy to chip. And the third one, this one's a big one, they're going to date. In 10 years, maybe sooner, but people are gonna look at waterfall edges in the same way they look at granite with bullnose edge from 2005. It screams, I renovated in the mid 2020s. I've started calling it the mullet of countertops. Business on top, party on the sides. And just like actual mullets, they probably not the timeless choice you think they are. Nothing against a mullet. So, what should you do instead? Get a standard overhang. Do a nice thick countertop if you want that substantial look. Go with a 2 or 3 inch edge instead of that standard 1.25 inch. That gives you visual weight without the cost of the trendiness of the waterfall. And save you an extra maybe $5,000-$6,000. That money could be well spent. Something you could do to improve your daily life. Let's jump into trend number 4. Touchless and smart everything. Touchless faucets, smart refrigerators, screens on them, ovens you can control with an app, dishwashers that will text you when they're all done, all of it. And look, I'm not anti-technology. I've got a smartphone, I use apps, but here's the thing about a smart kitchen appliance. They are a solution in search of a problem. Touchless faucets sound great until you're trying to wash dishes and the sensor can't tell the difference between your hand and a plate. So it keeps turning off while you're scrubbing, or the batteries die and now you have to turn your faucet on the way you would have before. So is it that convenient? Smart refrigerators with big screens on them, cool. Except for the screen is going to be outdated in a couple of years, just like your phone. But unlike your phone, you can't just upgrade your fridge. You're stuck with it 2025 until the year 2035, wondering why your fridge can't connect to whatever new smart home system everyone's using. And app-controlled ovens, I've yet to meet a single person who actually uses that feature after the first month. You know what's faster than pulling out your phone, opening an app, and preheating an oven? Getting up, walking over to your oven and pressing the on button, that's kind of fast. It's right there. It's in your kitchen where you already are cooking dinner. Here's my philosophy. The more electronics you have, the more things you have that can break. And when they break, they're expensive to fix. Your grandmother's 1970s oven still works, still making casseroles, still making pies. And you know what? That's because it's got a heating element and a dial. That's it. Not smart, not Wi-Fi, not touchscreen, and not 1500 cooking modes. Good luck getting parts for that in 5 years. So what should you do instead? Buy a mid-range, reliable appliance from brands with good track records. Read actual user reviews, not just the marketing materials, and save your smart home budget for things like thermostats, lighting, stuff where the technology actually makes sense and improves your daily life. And if you want that fancy appliance feature that's actually worth it, get a double oven or a warming drawer or a good range hood. Those upgrades you'll constantly use, and they don't require software. Upgrade number 5, trendy tile choices. And I'm specifically talking about the really bold, really specific, really of this moment tile choices. Right now, there are things like fish scale tile, bold geometric patterns, and those really intricate Moroccan style tiles. And before everyone comes at me in the comments, I'm not saying these tiles are ugly. They're beautiful. And I have seen and I have installed stunning tiles like this in beautiful kitchens and bathrooms. The problem is tile is permanent and trends aren't. When you put in tile, you're making a decision for the next 10, maybe 20 years, because ripping out tile and replacing it, it's expensive. You're looking at thousands of dollars just in demo and labor, not counting the new tile. So you better be absolutely sure you're gonna love the bold pattern for 2 decades. Here's my advice. Tile's like a tattoo. Don't just pick something because it's popular right now. Pick something you're going to love for the next 20 years. And if you're not sure, go classic, go simple, subway tile. White grout, it's timeless. And you can always add personality with your cabinet color, your accessories, and of course my favorite, lighting. Save the bold, trendy choices for things that you can change out easily. Paint colors, hardware, bar stools, accessories. The stuff you can swap out when the trend changes. Tile? not so much. So what do you think? Did I miss any upgrades that you regret? Or is there an upgrade you made that you absolutely love and think everyone should do? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to grab my design starter kit. It's got all my professional templates, planning tools, and access to the design specialist that will help you plan any renovation that you have. Links in the description. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. We'd love to see you on the next one.